And here we don't specify a class or ID because it doesn't matter. We just need to get all paragraphs. We just need to get all of the p tags that are inside the entry, the div that has the entry class. It doesn't matter if even if they actually don't have IDs and they don't have classes either, but it doesn't matter. Even if they have classes and IDs, we don't care. We just need to get all of these paragraphs, and then we need to pull out the text from all of these paragraphs. So I'm going to say here find all p, and then we store that in a variable called paragraphs, and after that we just need to loop over all of them. So here I'm going to say for, and then p in paragraphs, and then we want to get the text from each paragraph. So I'm going to say p.string. We use p.string not text in order to pull out the string or the text from the paragraph, from each paragraph tag. And sometimes this might return none, therefore we can use if statement to avoid that none. You can here say if the p.string is not none, then we want to get that we want to get this p.string, and we want to first print it out here, print the paragraph.string, and we also want to store it in the file. Remember, we want to store it in the articles file. So after we get the string from each single paragraph, we want to store it in the file. So I'm going to say here functions dot write to file, and then we specify the directory. We want to store it in a directory that is related to this project. This URL is dailycoffeenews.com. So I'm gonna name the folder. Daily Coffee News with capital D and capital D and capital C and capital N, and then / and then the name of the file, articles. I'm going to name it articles.txt, and then we pass the p.string because we want to store the text in that file. And after that we just do nothing. We just get each single paragraph and do nothing. But for the sake of making our script look good, I'm gonna just print these lines because we want to make our script. We want to make the result human readable. So I'm gonna just paste a few of these in order to separate out each paragraph. In order to separate out each paragraph and the next URL and title. And we also need to write a new line to this file, because after we store the last paragraph, it's going to get the new URL and title from a new article, and it's going to store it in the file. Therefore, we want to add extra space. So I'm going to say here, I'm going to first add lines, and then I'm going to add two empty lines, because we want to make our file look good and also human readable, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult to read information and read articles from the file that we will create, which is the articles.txt. So this is very, very important. And also, before we start storing the paragraphs, we need to write here. We need to write here paragraph. We need to say paragraph before we store the paragraph. So I'm going to say here paragraphs, and then new line here, like this, and then new line, and then new line here. And we can also here add print, and then we print just nothing, and also we can print paragraph here, paragraph or paragraphs. And don't confuse the print with the write to file. The print is just for the console. It's just going to print the paragraphs and these lines once we call this function. But write to file will write that word, paragraphs, and the new line to the file that will be created. So don't mix things up. It's very simple. And we are done. The last thing that we need to do, obviously, is that we need to call the main scraper. So I'm going to copy this line, and then I'm gonna call it here. But we need obviously to change the URL. The URL now is this URL. It's dailycoffeenews.com. So here it's going to be dailycoffeenews.com, and then the name of the file or folder is going to be daily coffee news with capital D and capital C and capital N. And we are done. Let me now save and run our project and the script and see what's going to happen. First of all, you will notice that on the left side we have a new folder called Daily Coffee News, and inside it we have articles.txt, and I'm gonna come back to this shortly, but first let's check our console. In our console you'll find that now we have the URL and then the title and then the paragraph, and then a new article, URL, title, URL and then title and then paragraphs, all of the paragraphs, and then a new URL and then title and then the paragraphs, and then a new article, as you can see, URL, title and then paragraphs.